Happy Tuesday, AP Latin students. Apologize, this is a little bit late today, but this will be 5.37 here for Caesar. You also notice on the wall I've got a vocab list for you for our quiz on Thursday. Okay, so those will be the words you can expect. And on the quiz, it'll be kind of like previous ones. You'll have the vocab, and then you'll have a section from this week to translate. And on the vocab, I do ask that you not use the not use the list or your book, but while you're taking the section that has the translation, if you want to use book and notes, that's fine. So feel free to do that on the quiz. Okay. If you have any questions, please, as always, more than welcome to shoot me a chat or whatever. Okay, so 5.37 here. Okay. Sabinus orders the military tribunes whom he had around him for the present, and the centurions of the first ranks, so he orders all them, to follow him. And after he had approached Ambiorix nearer, having been ordered to throw down his weapons, he does the thing commanded, or the thing ordered, and he commands, or he orders his own men to do the same thing. Okay? So a couple things going on here. You'll notice you bet to one of the words for ordering has that accusative infinitive in construction. Okay, and then this impero verb that we have, which is another word for to order or to command, this time has that kind of jussive noun clause on line 4, so he commands his own men to do such and such. Okay, so kind of two different constructions with those peculiar words. They have their own sort of construction they follow. You'll notice also, let's see here, line 3, you've got a cum clause, probably one of those circumstantial ones. And then usus, perfect passive participle from eubeo. Imperatum is a perfect passive participle, and it's like the thing having been ordered. All right, and then you'll notice suis is in the dative case. That is because the verb impero takes a dative object. All right, so that's why that's in the dative. All right, next sentence. Meanwhile, while they discuss among themselves about the conditions, or concerning the conditions, and a rather long speech is constructed by Ambiorix on purpose. Little by little, having been surrounded, he is killed. Okay, and the he here being Sabinus. Sabinus gets surrounded and slaughtered. All right, so this is all just kind of a big trap by Ambiorix and his men. All right. Couple things in there. Longior, a nice comparative adjective, modifying sermo. And that, you'll notice there's a long space in between those two. And that's that rhetorical device known as hyperbaton. Okay, so where you, there's a big separation between a word and what it's modifying or what it's logically going with. Okay. Ambiorix, a nice ablative of agent there. So it's prepared by Ambiorix. All right. Then truly, in their own custom or in their own manner, they proclaim or they shout out victory, and they raise a yell. And with an attack having been made against our men, they greatly disturb the ranks. Okay? So suo more, a nice ablative of manner, and we've seen the combination suo more before. And then you've got impetu facto, ablative absolute, in nostros, in a lot of times with the accusative, well, not a lot of times, but relatively often can mean against, and I think that's probably the idea here. It's made against our men. All right? There, Lucius Cotta, fighting, is killed with a very great part of the soldiers. Okay? So soldiers there, a nice partitive genitive. Okay? And then with a great part would probably be accompaniment. All right? The remaining, or the remnants, retreat to the camp from where they had come forth. All right, so erant, aggressi, nice deponent verb there. All right, and out of these, Lucius Petrosidius, that's a great name, in case you guys are looking for good goldfish names, right there. Lucius Petrosidius, the standard bearer, since he was oppressed, or pressed hard, with a great multitude of the enemy, threw forward the eagle, or the standard, threw forward the eagle inside the entrenchment. Okay, so I think this is their kind of their with the what's it called? How they had kind of set up a little circle with their gosh, sorry, words are tough. They had kind of set up a little camp, I guess, with all their belongings and stuff when this battle had begun. I think that's kind of what he's talking about. And I believe he's doing this probably so that he can fight himself, is my guess. I don't know that for sure, but anyway, it's portrayed as a good thing in the next part here, because he himself, fighting most bravely in front of the camp, is killed. All right, so I think he tries to find a relatively safe spot for the eagle, and then he gets into fighting himself. I think that is kind of the idea. Okay, and you'll notice that they've got a good note for you on the eagle down below. The standard bearer protects the eagle as best he can and to the death. Such an event would have signaled to a Roman audience the utmost dedication and bravery that Romans expected from their soldiers. Even in a disastrous defeat, Caesar paints a portrait that will make his Roman readers proud to be Roman. Okay, and you'll see this. We've seen this several times in Caesar. He'll really highlight the bravery of a single individual. Okay, it's a kind of a nice touch to give it a really kind of personal feel to some of the accounts that he portrays. All right. Then the last page here. Those men, referring to the soldiers, they give you sick or ill for igre. So like you could say sickly, sustain. Probably like we would say poorly or badly. Sustain the attack, the assault, until night. Okay, so they keep fighting all the way till night, not going well for them though. Okay, and then at night, all to a man, or literally to one, all right, but all of them to a man, with their safety having been despaired of. So they all to a man themselves kill themselves, or if you don't have to have to themselves in there. They do have an ipsi, but they all to a man kill themselves. All right, you got an ablative absolute there with the desperata soluta. All right, and then se is the reflexive, and then ipsi is kind of adding more intensity to it. All right, and they have a note for you on kind of suicide and how the Romans viewed that. And it was not as, I guess, taboo as it is nowadays. Most individuals rightly view suicide as a bad thing. And the Romans sometimes did, but under certain circumstances, they viewed it as good, especially if it avoided disgrace or servitude. They viewed suicide as a good thing. So that's a kind of an interesting psychological look, I guess, at some of the differences that they have. Okay, and then the last sentence: a few men having slipped away, having escaped from the battle by uncertain routes through the woods, arrive at Titus Labienus, the legate or the ambassador, at his winter quarters, and they inform him, and then literally about the things having been done, or as your book translates, about what had happened. Okay, so you've got a couple things here. You've got the from the battle would be a nice separation. Okay, by uncertain routes or by uncertain paths. There is an ablative of route, and I think that's probably what this would be here. And then to Titus Labienus and in Hiberna, probably both accusative of place to which there. All right, and then you have a slight idiom, certiorum faciunt. Literally, they make him more certain. It's another way of saying they inform him. It's a little bit of an idiom. And then rebus gestis. These are words you'll see commonly together. Literally, it's the things having been done, but it's a lot of times it's what had happened, or sometimes it can even just be used as the word like history, because a history are things that have been done. All right. Okay, so that's 537. We'll do 538 tomorrow. Remember, we'll have a quiz on Thursday. So hope you guys are well. Love you, and talk to you later.